Before you start blending your black charcoal, make sure that your blending stump has been sharpened to a very nice tip so that you're not accidentally blending this outward into areas that you don't want it to blend out. So I'm going to start with my cheek, which is an area that I want to blend out, but that sharp tip, I'm always going to start right at that edge, and I'm going to make sure I'm not going out of that boundary. And I'm just going to kind of blend what's there. I'm not going to worry too much about blending it out yet. Make sure you are using some kind of clean scratch paper to keep your hand on. And here I'm just trying to blend everything together, making sure to have a nice crisp edge on the edge of the jaw here. You can see some of it almost can blend out. So a lot of the pigment gets left on the blending stump, and you can actually use some of that to put some dark in areas that may not have had dark in areas. So I'm just going to focus on blending out what I've deposited first before I blend it out into the rest of the paper. So here's where I'm going to start actually blending it outward into the paper, possibly even into some of those white charcoal highlights. You're going to be kind of blending them back and forth. If you have a lot of pigment on your blending stump, make sure to kind of wipe it off, turn it, wipe it, turn it, wipe it to get some of that off so that it's a little bit easier to blend. You can always add more where you feel like you need more, but you really want to be blending this into the paper so that there's a nice transition between the highlights and the shadows. So here you can see where I've blended pretty much everything. Right now I have a really crisp transition between the shadows and the sclera of the eye. So using a clean blending stump, you don't have to do this, but if you want your eyes to look a little more rounded, okay, you can kind of pull some of that pigment into the eyes so that it's kind of a light gray around them instead of that really bright white contrasted up against the dark.